last night. It could have been, you know, poop or something like that, but I am fairly certain I felt babies about that big. So similar size range to Savina and Neelix. You're being so good. I know this is so scary for you. So everything I'm doing for her is pregnancy safe. So she's on Clavamox, which is a safe, very benign antibiotic that can be used in pregnant cats. She's getting that twice a day. So I'm hoping that as she gets more comfortable here and becomes less shut down, I'm hoping I can still give her meds easily. But, you know, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. We definitely are not equipped to have four pregnant feral moms here. Was not in the plans. So I was feeling a little anxiety just going to pick her up because of so many babies to find homes for, and you know, the unknown of working with feral moms. And then when I discovered this tail problem, it sort of compounded everything. But luckily I have a great team and a great vet and you guys, and I think that it's gonna take all of us to get through this. So I appreciate all of the encouragement and support, because it's definitely gonna be another stressful couple of months. Okay, sweetheart, let me take a look. Let me take a look at your poor little bum. So my goal with this is her kind of her worst, the worst wound that I can see. So I just want to make sure that it stays, that it's able to drain. It had quite a bit of pus inside last night. So I was hoping that this would be less swollen today so that it was potentially not broken, but I don't know. I feel like this is probably... Anyway, we'll figure it out. So we don't know. So I don't know. It's possible she was hit by a car. It's possible that, you know, originally at some of these wounds looked like they could be bite wounds. Seeing the extent of the abrasions, it looks more like car or machinery or something like that, which is definitely a possibility on this rural property. I didn't see anything else on her, but it's pretty hard to do a thorough check. I haven't checked all of her feet. There's kind of trying to strike a balance between just totally stressing her out and making sure that I'm not missing anything. Her temp was a little bit elevated last night. I'm not going to take it again this morning. I'll take it again tonight and see if it's gone up or down or stayed the same. But you guys can see what I'm talking about here, right? This is this one, and then there's also a swelling here. And then the abrasions are just all the way around and they go all the way down to there. So injured tail on top of being pregnant, on top of being trapped and then in a noisy environment, and then now in a quieter environment but it's still scary. It's a lot for a little cat. It's a lot for a feral cat. So I'm just gonna see if there's anything that I can do that will relax her at all. Rotating so that you can see her little face. So we think that so she looks quite a bit like Elf. If you guys were following our last batch, she looks almost exactly spitting image of Elf. Don't you, sweetheart? So I'm thinking that she could very likely be Elf's mama or auntie, big sister. Sable is not in any of the nests over in the other room, just FYI. Hi, sweetie pie. She does look like she has perhaps a slightly cleft lip. And those are abrasions on her nose, I'm guessing from when she was trapped, but hard to say for sure. It could also be when her tail injury happened. So I'm not sure if she ate. I know that 2 of the food bowls with the smushy food are empty. So someone ate last night. She and Savina were out and about exploring, and then they took out both cameras that I had in here, so I wasn't able to watch for the rest of the night. Yeah, I mean, definitely this is how sometimes they react to stress. They just shut down. And so when they're shut down, they'll pretty much let you do anything, which is good from a treatment perspective, but obviously not ideal from a stress perspective. So what I'm trying to do is sometimes like if they have really bad ear mites, or sometimes you can get them to respond a little bit to, like she's actually leaning into my hand right now, which is good. If I can see any sign that she's getting a slight bit of relaxation or enjoyment, then I think that's a good thing. So I think it's worth trying, since I am gonna have to work with her more. If she's anything like Elf, she may come around a bit. That's a catnip fish. Just in case that helps. She did really well with me catching her today. She was in the tunnel back there, so I just was able to cover it with a blanket and sort of wrap her in it and pull her out. I think the injury happened prior to trapping, the tail injury. They did notice the scabs that lapsed, but they thought maybe it was ringworm. And so they sent off a PCR, which thankfully came back negative. But so if she already had scabs when she got her intake at labs, the injury would have already happened prior to that. No, she's not purring. I wouldn't expect her to purr at this point. So if she is pregnant, this will be her last litter. Obviously, she'll be spayed once her babies are old enough to be weaned. Or depending on how she does, it would be great if she did okay. She could stay with them longer. I would love that. Maybe she can raise Savina's babies too. Each feral cat is an individual. They all react differently to being in captivity. Some are able to cope much better than others. And as we've seen, some are able to become socialized successfully. So I haven't gotten a good look inside her mouth to determine if she has a cleft palate. I would guess not, but I think it's just her upper lip has a tiny bit of a cleft. Which also makes me nervous, because if she has little cleft lip babies, then we could be in for some interesting times. But we'll figure that out if it happens. Sable is waddling around behind the fern, I think, in the other room. For those of you asking how to help, donations are always helpful. This is definitely going to be a challenge, having so many kittens, and they're not always the healthiest kittens from this colony. And we're gonna need help when it comes adoption time, to try to find really, really great homes for all of them. Probably we're gonna get a lot of black kittens from Sable and Savina, and possibly Neelix. And Faerie could have black kittens too. And and having so many, it's gonna, I think, impede people's ability to sort of bond with them. So I'm a little nervous about being able to find really great homes for so many kittens. You guys thought 12 was a lot. We could have 20 to 24 kittens. And no friendly mom this time to take care of them, so that means I will be their mom when these moms have to go back. So helping us get media attention, we definitely could use some press attention to try to help get adoptions going. Just helping to raise awareness about feral cats. Yeah, so hi, you're okay. Did I take away your fishy? All right. I was able to vaccinate her last night, so that will help her babies. So I think it's just going to take some time for her to feel a little more safe. I'm not looking at you, it's okay. It's okay. The way they respond to me interacting with them the first couple of days sort of informs the way I interact with them and my plan with them. There's no one-size-fits-all approach I'm finding with pregnant ferals. There are some universal things that help, but a lot of it is tailoring the approach to the individual cat based on their needs. if you want to learn more about what we're doing with ferals, you can go to tinykittens.com/ferals and see some of the stuff we're learning. Trying to document the stuff we're learning, because when we started this last year, the only information we had was what was available on the internet. And there are some really great resources on doing traditional TNR. But so many of my assumptions about feral cats have been proved wrong. And so the more we work with them and the more we try to interact with them and try to care for them more compassionately, the more I learn about changing my approach and getting better outcomes and doing things I never would have thought were possible. So it's been pretty fascinating for me to have learned so much in the last year. And I'm trying to document it so that other people who are trying to do things a little bit differently or maybe test their assumptions don't have to start from square one like we did. You guys can see, you can learn from our mistakes and learn from our successes, and maybe others will start documenting and trying things too, and then we can all sort of collaborate and figure things out faster. Because I know there are other groups out there. I just couldn't find any information. Not about TNR. There's tons of great information about TNR, but doing the other stuff with ferals that we're doing. I don't know what that was either. Something on the roof. You did great. You survived. You survived my phone alarm. Good job. Good job. Yes, you're very brave. You're doing really well. Yes, you're doing very well. No one has eaten you, and no one is going to eat you here. Savina's doing great too. I'm relieved that she has not yet come out and started flying around the room. So I'm hoping that me being in here with Faerie and not forcing myself on Savina will potentially just help her be the slightest bit less panicky in time, hopefully. The difference between relax and shut down, that's a good one. Shut down, they tend to just kind of curl up and lay there and wait for it to be over. They don't really react to their surroundings. They just kind of withdraw within themselves. It's a stress reaction and a coping mechanism. When they're relaxed, you know, you might see things eventually, like, well, she may lean into my hand when she likes me petting her. She might lift her chin if I'm trying to do chin rubs. When she gets really relaxed, she may stretch out a paw. Eventually she might purr. I would say she's still fairly shut down. She thinks I'm going to eat her, but she is starting to respond to her environment, and her breathing rate is pretty fast, which shows me that she's still quite fearful, or she might be hot in this blanket because it's a bit warm in here, but the blanket will be making her feel more safe. She's got a very beautiful pattern. She's kind of like a ticked classic tabby. I'm sure there's a better explanation out there, but you can kind of see how fast she's breathing, so I wouldn't call her relaxed. However, she is also responding to me petting her. So that's why I'm still doing it. So no vet appointment yet. We have an appointment for tomorrow. I sent Dr. Ferguson the photo of her tail shaved, and if she thinks that I should bring her down today, I definitely will. I suspect that if her tail is broken, it's healed to a point where there's nothing that would need to be done immediately. The hard part is probably over for her, except for the wounds. I'm not sure. We'll find out more, but treating the infection is important. Making sure she's hydrated is important, and supportive care, food, all that stuff, making her feel safer, all that stuff is important. And so I'm only going to stress her out with a visit to the vet if Dr. Ferguson definitely wants to do an x-ray. Otherwise, if she thinks that it's, you know, already healed to a point where there's not much we can do, then we'll hold off. Right? You're such a good girl. You're being very brave. See what happens if we switch to a less invasive petting. She may take off at any moment. I would love to give her pain. I would love to be able to give her pain meds, but there's nothing I can give her that would be safe. I don't think she's in terrible pain, but I'm sure that her tail does hurt. It looked pretty, I think it feels better today, but last night it was pretty nasty. Oh my goodness. I wonder if I cover your face a little bit if you'll feel better. Is it just me or are we there? Alright, where should I get you set up? I'm pretty sure she's not going to be interested in food, but now let's just see. Okay, I think that's enough. I think that's enough. You're very brave. Where should we put you? Do you want to go back in your tunnel? Okay, I'm gonna let her go. See where she. It'd be nice if I can see her walk and make sure she's not limping or anything like that. There you go. You can go. You're free to go.